To take one example, there was a theater production I was in by David Young called Inexpressible Island. I don't even remember the play. He wrote a play about whatever it was 1913, and 6 guys on the Scott expedition to the Antarctic got stranded. True story. And they spent 3 acts in an ice cave, and none of them was expecting to survive. And the following spring, they actually survived, and they came out and they walked 250 miles back to camp. And he wrote a play based in the ice cave. It's called Inexpressible Island. It is one of the most intelligent, haunting about human psyche and survival. Not like a survival spiritually and mentally more than physically, as it were. It never played west of Toronto. And I go, wait a minute. It was a stunning script in terms of its sophistication and totally engaging, but it never played west of Toronto. And I couldn't figure, well, is it to Toronto? What is it that stopped that really exemplary piece of writing from moving west?
And when was this?
Oh, God.
Like, is this
1995, 1998, somewhere in there?
So
2001?
It would partly depend on I mean, whether I'm aware of it. Now that you mention it, I'm aware of the playwright. Was I sent the script? It would depend if I got the script. It would then depend on when you read.
I'm not blaming. I'm not
No,
laying
but
at your door.
just
I'm curious.
how you respond to the number of plays you get sent, the number of works that you hear about, the choices you make, whether to do it or not do it, is all not based on it being Toronto. Not at all. It would be based on compared to everything else. Like if you're choosing 12 shows in a season, is it going to be one of the 12? And it could well be, or it could just fall off the table for no reason at all. It would have nothing to do with it being being staged in Toronto, not at all. And it would be whether often rights get really weirdly restricted. So maybe the original producers restricted it. I don't know, I can't remember what theater did it first, but sometimes they're restricted. So I would call the agent and say, I'm interested in an XY play, and they say, well, unfortunately, they're thinking of remounting it,
Right.
you know, just like the one you mentioned at Crow's Theater. Yeah. So they restricted the rights. And then suddenly that's last year's story. And now you're looking at this year's story, which is a whole different, you know, there's so many plays out there that you're suddenly, oh yeah, I liked that last year and it wasn't available, and then I didn't do it when I thought I might have done it. And now this year I'm looking at something else. It's just timing.
Timing?
It's all about
taste,
timing.
trends,
Yeah.
subject trends.
All of that. Taste, definitely taste.
Taste?
Yeah, because you're relying on your own taste, like I was saying about instincts.
Right.
You're relying on your own taste. Is this a play that I would want to see, or stage, or whatever? Yeah, I mean it can have no rational reason. You know, you can go, why did you pick that and not that? Well, I'm not sure.
It's just all this is against the context that you ran the place for 46 years. So there's got to be something right going on with the instinct, as opposed to someone who runs the theater for 4 years and never runs another theater. I mean, that's the kind of the two lenses.
You could say, when you say 46 years, there were audiences there for 46 years and continue to be there 5 years later. The company is still going. So that has a lot to do with, it's not just me. Well, yeah, okay, maybe it is me. But it's the fact that the audience was there over the bigger picture.
But they were there because you created the space and the energy for them to want to be there.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. It
So
sounds
that's
simple, but it basically comes down to that. I put on a show and somebody came. Sort of like Mickey and Judy. I put on a show and there was somebody that wanted to see it, and there was enough people that wanted to see it. Now that's over, you know, that's you could take any particular season and go, was that a successful season or not? You know,
What shows are you most proud of? It's an unfair question, I'm really sorry, but I'm going to ask it.
I'm probably the most proud of any new work that we did, like Seven Stories or Onegin or Reflections of Crooked Walking, or any play that originated on one of our stages, Sexy Laundry, the Mums Group, Mums the Word, who've been all over the world. We took their original piece that was only an hour long and expanded it. I asked them to expand it, put it on the stage. It ran and ran and ran, and then they've done 3 or 4 different versions that we've supported. So, you know, I'm proud of that they're considered worldwide. Any actor that, like Brent Carver winning a Tony Award, I take a very small, you know, so anybody like that, like a Michael J. Fox, or even though Michael Bublé obviously could have had a career, whether he appeared on one of our stages or not, you go, well, he did appear on one of our stages. So there's a combination of things, but I think the support of new work and seeing playwrights make a living is something that I'm proud of.